Come on, we deserve it! His team ain't on our level! Get that! Wow!
Slamball Series 5 moving to Beijing as the 2-2 mob taking on the 4-0 Rumble. The two original Slamball teams getting ready to do battle once again, and you won't find a fiercer rivalry in all sports.
So excited to see the mob taking on the Rumble here in Beijing. As you see, Noah Ballou got his team off to a middling start, but Jelani Janice has got the Rumble firing on all cylinders. Watch out for this green machine.
The bounce is up, and here comes Memphis Robinson in the Rumble on the attack, and he flies with the dipsy layup right there. No power, but the finesse game in full effect. But back comes the astronaut, Ramon Moon, and the ball is loose, and the action is fast and furious here in Beijing. Jelani Janice bumping into Noah Ballou, fighting through contact, looking for a cutting teammate, Whitney White. Memphis again, he lines up the three. No good. White is there for the tip-in, and we got a quick 4 points.
The Rumble offense is predicated on the notion that Jelani Janice and Memphis Robinson can shoot from outside at a high level, and Whitney White can clean up the rest.
Little baby jumper there from Ballou. So some early finesse play here in Beijing.
Let's call him Mr. Softy. Those stoppers are loaded up for the big attack, and you can take advantage with a little shot over the top.
Jelani up into the air, and we've got our first face-off.
Jelani Janice airborne going into the tramp. Sandy Fletcher was trying to play good D, couldn't get it done.
Here comes the freight train! We've come to expect power finishes, and that one did not disappoint.
Elevation devastation from Jelani Janice. This guy is not somebody you want to mess with.
It's like the rim has offended him, and he's trying to tear it down. Here comes the play by Faison. Good stop there on Gennaro Hemphill, and we'll have another penalty. Turnover. We got two guys in the zone.
Yeah, Gennaro Hemphill and Whitney White playing together for the first time since in high school in Chicago.
Lu Feng, the first dragon taking flight, cutting the lead. Nice play here, you see on the quick back pass from Ballou and the hammer dunk.
That's called a stack cut, where Lu Feng bounces on the side tramp and carries his momentum into the top tramp and angles off for the score.
Janice with the long three. Contested anyway, didn't seem to bother him, and he rips it away. Jelani Janice doing everything here. Hits the outside spring, looks like Hemphill, boom, he fouls off the mat. Here comes Whitney White, looking for Janice. Jelani into the zone, waiting for a cutter. Finally gets it from Whitney White, who lays it up with a left hand.
That's just beautiful Rumble offense there as Jelani, what can't this guy do? And here you see just absolutely amazing Frogger action as Gennaro Hemphill going after every loose ball. Here, Jelani Janice on the wheel down, gets the pass, fakes it to Gennaro. You see the stopper goes with him, and then comes back with Whitney White with the soft lay.
Nice patience shown there by Jelani Janice in the Rumble, and it's 12-5 here early on. Janice tries to rip it from Ballou. Noah attacks and gets it before Go can even get off the springs.
That right-left crossover is highly effective from Noah Ballou. He can get by just about anybody.
Boom! Jelani Janice with a surprise attack! And Jelani Janice is the absolute maestro out here right now.
The Rumble, to stop them, you really have to get the ball out of Jelani's hands and force somebody else to step up and make plays.
Here he comes, Lu Feng stolen away. Janice, just as we're talking about him here, on the attack, leaves for White with the big late finish. Didn't think he was going to get there, but Whitney White somehow glided to the rim.
And how did that happen? Jelani Janice was loaded up to go against Faison and kicked it back to White, and White returning the favor and getting it to his other teammate, Memphis Robinson. You see, Faison is so worried about Janice that White takes advantage, and Memphis, look at that great corner cut there. Stays right in that corner where he can be effective.
Deep three by Lee, no good. As the half comes to an end, the mob have been suffocated here by the Rumble again defensively. Steals, three-pointers, dunks. What a show put on by the Rumble here in the first half.
And the Rumble's backup stopper giving them good minutes there at the end of the half. Jelani Janice off to an amazing start, has been dominant. This Rumble handler is not to be trifled with. Jelani Janice for the Rumble, maybe the best player ever.
Jelani Janice, the powerhouse handler, getting ready to lead his team.
So big, so strong, and so talented.
Jelani is one of the best guys in the league.
Jelani Janice, handler, Rumble from South Central Los Angeles.
Jelani Janice is a freak at the handler position.
Jelani's scary. He's like just the biggest dude.
When you see him, you're like,
He's the one guy that when you're going up against, you're like, he shouldn't be allowed to play handler.
6'3", 228 pounds. He can basically take your handler out of the game with his physicality.
Oh my goodness!
My leadership style, I've pretty much done it all my life just by leading by example.
Jelani's gonna keep coming hard. I mean, even when he slows down, he's trying to trick you.
I believe I can make everybody else better. The game, it moves so slowly to me. Like, I know when guys are open before they know they're open themselves.
Throws it back to Whitney White. Amazing play by Jelani Janice.
You really have to get the ball out of Jelani's hands and force somebody else to step up and make plays.
I don't want the ball in anybody else's hands. I want to make all decisions, and I'll deal with that responsibility rather than putting it in somebody else's hands.
Janice rushes Carlson into the corner.
Boom shakalaka.
Janice with a hammer.
I've won all the accolades. I've been an MVP. We've been champions, but also we've been down at the bottom as well. This is our chance to clearly separate ourselves on who is at the top. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Second half action here in Beijing. The Rumble looking to pick up where they left off. A little off-arm shove there, clears some space. Looks for White. Faison gets in the way, but a nice finish close to the rim by Whitney White.
Whitney's just got the best body control in the business. This guy's shoulders are always up.
Oh, Ramon Moon taken down by Dave Redmond.
David Redmond is a firewall in front of that rim for the Rumble. You got to appreciate what this guy is doing.
What an amazing pass. Janice on the stack cut. Didn't even get into the front court, and Whitney White takes it, and White in complete control here.
And look how David Redmond is just dominating his end of the court. The Mob only with 8 points here.
Oh, James Lee, somehow you were talking about Redmond doing a great job, does it again, but somehow the lucky bounce and the strength of Lee forces that ball home.
Lee is the one guy on that Mob team that isn't intimidated, but DeAndre Faison is definitely intimidating the Rumble attack. As you see, he's faster to the ball than anybody. This guy's a hell of an athlete.
Now he needs to get his offense on track. Faison doing his job, but his Mob teammates not helping, and Lu Fong a little out of control, just as we're talking about. They got to find some pace here on offense.
That's the Mob game in a microcosm right there, as Lu Fong, James Lee just cannot get it done here. Let's hope they can get some rhythm going.
White leaving for Memphis, a little too high. Great job of DeAndre Faison to disrupt that. And here come the Mob. Need a score here big time to get back into this game. Lee looks for a cutting below, but Redmond denies. And Lee digs it out, gets it into the corner. Memphis harassing, coming close to a penalty here, Memphis, and there we finally get it.
Memphis making that contact in the back. The referees will call that really tight. It'll be interesting to see how Memphis goes against a 245-pound, 6'6" James Lee.
And he decides to say no mas and just steps out of the way.
Yeah, he just elected to fight another day on that. James Lee is going to be really important to the Mob's championship bid here because he's the one guy that can be an enforcer for that team.
Fletcher tries to force it, can't get it. Nice steal, Memphis leaves it for Jelani, finds Whitney White on the double bounce and the one-handed power finish. Whitney White taking flight, a huge piece of this green machine and a perfect fit alongside Jelani Janice.
Me and Jelani feed off each other because Jelani is the leader. I follow his lead. We just go.
And those two in complete control here, a 28-13 Rumble lead, and they are dominating this game. Lu Fong, nothing doing again. Good job by the stopper, and the ball's dug out again, and back come the Rumble. The defense just doing everything here. Memphis looks for a cutter. No one's there, and he throws it away. Moon hits the springs, blast off, and finishes with the left hand.
The astronaut, Ramon Moon, he's not the biggest guy, but this little gunner plays huge.
Ramon Moon is a very talented player. He's very light on his feet, and he can really get high off the tramps.
Now we've seen Moon with some moonbeams there, but that one with the left-handed finish might have been his most impressive of the tournament so far, as Memphis will pull from three and drain it. just when the Mob think they got a couple of minutes of momentum, the Rumble just slap it right back.
Drip drop, Memphis Robinson from the outside, and Noah Ballou, he's kind of had enough of this. He's going to take matters into his own hand. Memphis, deadly from outside, Noah Ballou showing the power game.
You might think a little too late. A minute left here, the Rumble. Jelani leaves for the stopper. Go! Who can't finish? That's how confident they're bringing up the stopper. Now the Mob with a chance, no one back. Can they get anything? And Noah loses it. Out of control. The story of the offense of the Mob today. Out of control, Mason.
Mad scramble for the ball there. You know, the Rumble has put together a really incredible game. They've got 31 points offensively. They've only given up 19 points defensively. This is, look at this.
A little John going on in the corner.
Yeah, Whitney White is known to run his mouth. DeAndre Faison, he's had enough of it.
From day one on the court, I'm trash talking because I'm good. I back it up. So I can talk all I want. You know, you have to stop me for me to stop talking.
Do you kiss mama take flight with that mouth, Whitney?
Whitney hits the springs, and Faison is the one that gets up with the open mouth and some jawing going on right now.
DeAndre Faison let his play do the talking there. Whitney might talk some trash, but DeAndre Faison, he got the better of that one.
And 15 seconds to go. It's looking like another Rumble victory. Taken outside Memphis. Can he put a cherry on top? And he does. Just for good measure, another three in Memphis, blowing kisses to the crowd.
I only think they missed like 1 or 2 threes the whole game.
A good effort there by Ballou, but that's going to do it. The Rumble continue their strong play in this tournament, and the Mob in search of some offensive answers here.
This is a statement win for the Rumble over their arch rivals as we move on to the Slashers.
We had another unfortunate situation. Bryce Earl's mother fell ill. He had to leave. Now we have our top 2 scorers out and no substitutes. We had to go out and get somebody. We got Marco. We didn't have time to get him a jersey, so we had to wear Bryce's. So we're going to see how it goes.
Slashers Maulers here in game 2. The undermanned Slashers. No Scotty Campbell, no Bryce Arledge, taking on the master, Stan Fletcher, and the Maulers, who are in desperate need of a victory here, Mason.
The Slashers are not going to have any bench support here. Their starters are going to have to go the whole game, and the Maulers have been disappointing in this tournament thus far. They were expected to contend for the title. They have not shown the grit necessary to get that done yet.
And there is Stan Fletcher tapping it over to Sean Inches Jackson to get us started here. He'll hit the top zone. Nice pass to Teron Williams, but denied by the Slashers. And we got a loose ball here early on. And on the floor, of course, Josh Carlson. Where else would you expect to find him?
In a hell ball situation, the defense always gets that ball.
Kevin Fahn with the nice finish and the great lead from Carlson there. Little dump and a fantastic one-handed finish.
Really nice move there by Kevin Fahn, who is really coming into his own as a little bit of a scorer.
Stan, nothing going, we'll freestyle. Gets a popcorn and a finish, right on the top of his head. That was just,
That was incredible. Fletcher sets up the shakedown move, then catches the popcorn bounce, and then elevates into the mesosphere. Nice work by Fletch.
And you saw Blackwell could barely get off the springs because of that popcorn action. Kevin Fahn being fantastic with the little baby jumper.
I really like that. And look at him playing defense here. Kevin Fahn showing you a little bit more than just being able to score.
Wise move, resets, looks, dumps to Carlson. All 3 phases, defense, offense, passing. He's doing it all, this kid.
Who is this guy, man? You know, Kevin Fahn works with Stan Fletcher, studies with Stan Fletcher at the Slamball Center in Shanghai, and he is showing playmaking, he's showing scoring, and he's showing defense. What more could you ask for?
Teron Williams lumbering through the middle, and we've got a penalty. We've got an early mistake here from the replacement. Marco Bianchi just couldn't get out of the way.
Yeah, Marco interrupted the offensive player's bounce. You can't do that. He will have a face-off.
Williams doesn't get up very high, but powers that one home. The Mack truck, Teron Williams.
It's actually to his advantage not to elevate too much because he won't dissipate his momentum. It makes it really hard for you to want to get in front of him.
Nice dump in there to Insano Zal. Good play there from the Maulers on the dive cut. And Zal with the nasty one-handed finish.
Zhao is another guy that's shown a lot of athletic ability, a lot of aptitude in the springs, along with Kevin Fahn and Lu Fong, as Stan Fletcher bats away that freestyle attempt by Kevin Fahn. Josh Carlson money from the corner. You gotta love this guy. He's one of the great leaders we have in the sport. Captain Asano with the power bomb, and then Josh Carlson with the pure jumper.
Carlson has gone from Ginger Jesus to Bobby Brady in this tournament, playing fantastically. Nice job by Zhao to disrupt Fan. Dives into the springs, but we got a whistle here. Little too much energy there from Captain Insano.
Asano is a guy that really wants to help his team win. He will throw his body all over the court and do whatever it takes.
Well, we know how Carlson feels about face-offs, and he almost gets it, but a great job by Zhao, who is fired up in the bed there.
Asano is definitely fired up. He puts his body right where it needs to be and extends for the block.
And a fantastic first half. As time expires, Carlson fires it up, but that's after the horn. Everyone conversing, but that's not going to count.
Not gonna happen. Josh Carlson wants every little break he can get. He needs it, but how about this freestyle move from Fletcher in the first half? Stan Fletcher has taken freestyle to an entirely new level.
Stan with his patented freestyle movement. Oh! Stan goes Spider-Man, double tramp skin.
Fletcher freestyling all over the court. He's taking this personally, ladies and gentlemen.
When I first started playing Slamball, I wanted to do something really, really creative. I wanted to stand out as a player, and I wanted to put a signature, a stamp, my fingerprint on the game. I started throwing the ball to myself. I started bouncing off the springs. I started throwing it in the air, started throwing it off the backboard. I didn't even know it was going to be called freestyle.
Freestyle. Fancy freestyle.
Freestyle play is very important in Slamball. It's great at creating a differential between the stopper and the attacker.
I'm all for freestyle play if you have those skills.
Lou Fong freestyling, looking like Shakes Fletcher.
I don't like to see somebody freestyling when they have no business doing it.
Kevin Fong, little freestyle action. Bonds, watch that ball out.
Our Kevin Fong can do that a little bit. Not quite stand yet, but on the way.
Pops in a freestyle fadeaway.
Freestyle kind of seems to be where the sport is evolving. I kind of like to be annoying with it. I try to ruin the freestyle by sneaking underneath guys when they're in the air.
We try to get the ball in the smash mouth type slam ball and just put it down your throat. We don't have time for freestyle and style points.
Now to see freestyle become a culture in Slamball is something that I feel very proud of. This is what I birthed. It's called freestyle.
Second half action here in Beijing, getting ready to get underway. The bounce off will happen, and who's going to control it? It's loose. Carlson, of course, no one else is going to have more hustle than that guy. Digs it out, finds a cutting Bianchi, who backs himself into Bond, knocks him down, and finds Carlson for the finish.
Josh Carlson might look like a choir boy, but this guy is a ruthless competitor. There you see Bianchi knocks Bond out of the way. That's an illegal move, but the refs missed it. Josh Carlson took advantage.
Inches looking for this time Teron Williams, nothing doing. He'll reset, and Carlson blindside him. There he is again. Josh Carlson. Kevin Fong. Dump quick, nice hit, right hand finish.
And that's really amazing awareness from Kevin Fong. You see, it looks like he just extends for a layup and Bond's out of the play. But you see, Marco Bianchi trailing the play gets the bulk of Bond's attention. Kevin Fong recognizes that and then extends for the easy score.
Leave for Stan, who gets his arms ripped by Delmonte Blackwell, showing some of that strength and power that he's got as a stopper.
Del Monte has big heart. He's a big body, and he just squashes the tramp and stops everything.
Let's see how the killer Kaiju does in this face-off.
Up, flip. Stan going the opposite of what anyone expect. A finesse move there. He even fooled Blackwell.
He floated off to the left side and just didn't give the big stopper anything to hit with the double clutch left-handed lay. Good job by Fletch. What kind of name is Poon anyway? Comanche Indian.
Comanche Indian, definitely Comanche. That ball's topped off there. As you see Delmonte Blackwell, a great job there just clearing the action. Back come the slashers. Fong with another quick hit. This kid's touch around the hoop is insane.
It's kind of amazing because everybody is just constantly so focused on the big dunk as Stan Fletcher drawing a foul there from Kevin Fong. This will be interesting. Stan, the Jedi Master, going against the young Padawan.
Fletcher, he went soft last time, goes hard this time. He went a completely different direction and flew through the air. What do you do with this guy? He's impossible to defend.
Just when you think you have Stan contained, he pulls something out of his hat and makes, a phenomenal play.
Fletcher once again single-handedly keeping his team in the game, freestyling it up. Hits the spring. Nice dump off to Williams, who finishes with a two-hand powered bomb over Blackwell.
That's so nice. DeMonte is expecting that Fletcher is going to be coming at him, but Fletcher uses the freestyle to set up his teammates.
Throwing it off. Stan needs some help now. Nothing doing. Gets bumped by Bianchi, though.
Bianchi with a rookie mistake there, bumping him in the back. He'll draw the face-off, but look at Fletcher setting this up. See how Monty matches his bounce, and Teron Williams bounces in and takes advantage of the cut.
Here comes the face-off. He went high and hard and goes with a switcheroo with the left hand that time and indoctrinates Marco Bianchi.
That was amazing as he went drifting off to the side. It's all a part of Stan's master plan.
My whole game is I try not to take as much contact as I can. I'm not the biggest guy. So if I can get him quick, I want to get in there quick.
Fletcher and the Maulers now in the lead as again the master of freestyle bouncing it, hits all three springs, loses the ball though, almost a fantastic finish. Carlson attacks, leaves space, leaves it up inches, forces it through, and the Maulers now up 4.
And that's the second brilliant setup by Fletcher. If the Maulers can get more support for Fletcher from his supporting cast, that will really make a big difference here.
Fawn too quick on that play, leaves it for Carlson with the big 3.
Oh, wow.
Pulls his team to within 1.
This guy is just gritting his teeth through this whole thing and trying to will his team to victory.
And here comes Stan. What can he do to answer Carlson? It's become a battle between these two. There's Carlson winning that battle, ripping it away, but inches on the ground.
I have not seen anybody do that. You see, as Fletcher was up in the air, Josh with the quick bounce and strips it away. And is there anything else this guy can do for his team? He's played the whole game, no substitutes, and he's giving it all today for the Slashers.
Going up, and Blackwell does his job, and there's Carlson again in the right place at the right time. He gets it out to Fawn. They need a hoop here to try and extend this lead. A little freestyle, close to 2 men in the zone. Bianchi keeps it alive. He hasn't scored, but Bianchi has made hustle plays today that has left his team in good positions.
2-point game here with a minute to go.
Carlson gets the lead, and the finish! Josh Carlson willing the Slashers to a 4-point lead.
I'm so happy for Josh Carlson to have this kind of statement game, one of the great leaders we have in this sport, and just absolutely showing the will to dominate.
No Bryce Arledge, no Scotty Campbell, and yet here is Josh Carlson leading the Slashers, hopefully to a victory here. Fletcher with the big miss, and Carlson with the rebound. A bucket here goes a long way to icing this game for the Slashers.
No!
Ooh, huge block by Bond, but we're going to have an intentional foul here by Stan.
Intentional foul in the last 30 seconds. It's make it, take it if Stan can stop him.
But he does not! The Padawan taking on the master, and Kevin Fawn with a fantastic finish right there.
That was incredible. You got to give Kevin Fawn a ton of credit going up against his mentor, as the Slashers are going to win one of the more improbable victories I've ever seen in the sport.
Unbelievable effort by Kevin Stapleton's team. Josh Carlson willing this undermanned squad to victory. What an amazing performance by the handler.
Really a signature game for Josh Carlson. He can really hang his hat on this for a long time, but all the Slashers came to play.
We'll see you next time here from Beijing. Darren Flam, Mason Gordon. So long.